high expectations and outcomes. Coach D is one of the most in-demand virtual speakers and consultants nationally. He has presented to and consulted thousands of organizations, and his virtual events are designed to inspire people to maximize their potential. He is here to inspire all of us today with his address, Building Bridges, Breaking Barriers, Connecting Dreams to Careers. So welcome, Daryl. Welcome, Coach D. You have to unmute yourself, Daryl.
All right. That's a first. Very rare that I'm ever muted. Well, it's truly an honor to be here. You know, Trish, Lori, and the team, job well done in pulling this together. I know conferences are a lot of work, and kudos to you. I also want to give a kudos to Pennsylvania OVR. I've done a lot of work with that wonderful group over there, Shanae and Minnie and Shannon, and you know, the state director. And so kudos to you all as well. I do want to start off by saying I hope I'm not starting trouble, because I do have my Philadelphia Eagles gear on today. Yes, I do have my Reggie White jersey back there, one of the greatest that ever played the game. So if you're not an Eagles fan, don't worry about it, because we're not winning much anyway. Don't worry about it. You're okay. I'm not stepping on your toes. We're not a threat to you right now. So I just want to start off and if I can, you know, I've motivated hundreds of thousands of young people all over this country via speeches and trainings, school assemblies. We've done like over 2,000 school assemblies where we've been in front of kids everywhere, just inspiring and motivating. But if you don't mind, I want to digress for a few moments and have a proud daddy moment. Because the other day, my daughter was on the Kelly Clarkson show. And I'm so proud of this girl. I mean, literally just phenomenal. When she was 14, she took a trip to Nairobi, Kenya to help orphans over there. That was a miracle within itself to me, to allow my 14-year-old to go halfway around the world to work with orphans. But she's always had a passion for helping young people. Her major passion is dance and things of that nature. But she went over there just to kind of serve. But well, she came back with a vision. And because she was so moved by what was going on with these orphans, that she said, I got to do something. So at the age of 14, she started a nonprofit organization by the name of Ngoma Kenya to help orphans learn the arts. And she's been back and forth to Kenya 10 times. They love her in Kenya. She's sort of internationally recognized over there. She started this nonprofit, and Kelly Clarkson decided she wanted to interview her. I'm going to make this quick because I only have a half an hour, and I can spend a half an hour on this alone. Okay. But she was interviewed by Kelly because of the impact she's having as a teenager. Listen to what I'm saying, as a teenager. So much to the point that they want to do something for her. So I don't know if any of you are really into the arts, but they invited Misty Copeland, the #1 ballerina in the world, to come on the show with my daughter. And Misty said that she wants to travel to Kenya with my daughter. Dad was in full tears. Okay, like there was not a dry eye in these two eyes. They were done. All right. And then Canva gave her $25,000 towards her nonprofit. And now she was already known throughout the world, but now she's known internationally because of what she's doing. And I'm saying that to say, and hopefully you can understand where I'm trying to go with this. You know, I've always believed just because a person is young, don't mean they can't be impactful in some way, that they can use their lives to make a difference in some special way. And I've raised my children that way. I've raised my children to find what they're gifted at doing and to be able to take that gift and impact society in some way. My children have all had their own struggles, but I'm so proud of my baby girl. So because you guys in the chat feature, just maybe to help daddy out for a moment, pop in there a little congratulations. That could be adult and youth. Come on, help me out, because I still think I'm crying. Because this is truly a proud daddy moment. But it also is another thing. You know, I always tell people it's good to practice what you preach. And this is truly an evidence. You're going to see again in just a few moments. In our home, we do practice what we preach. So thank you so much for. I see the congratulations. I'll let my daughter. She's a freshman at American University right now, a global scholar, one of 25 kids selected. She'll get her master's in 4 years. She went into college a junior because she did the high school, the dual high school college. So she carried enough credits to be a junior. So this is truly a super child that I have here. And so thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much. I just want to start by saying a term that I've used a lot because we work with a lot of OVRs and groups throughout the country. And I always like to say that disability does not mean inability. That's a statement that I started using a long time ago. And the reason why is in Delaware, we started an organization, not an organization, an initiative, probably about 20 years ago that became nationally acclaimed. It was the first statewide student-led IEP initiative, and where we had students actually leading initiatives to teach other students how to lead their IEP meetings. And back then, when we started this, nobody thought it was possible. People were like, but they're young people. I said, you know, you have no idea what's inside of these young people. You have no idea. And I'm saying this to you. People don't have the idea what's inside of you, what you can do for your career and what you can do for your life. And we started this initiative, and the Department of Education, no one knew what was going to happen. I said, but let's believe in their potential. Let's believe that they can do it. And I want to let you know, I'm here to let you know, I believe in you. I believe in your potential. I want every adult here to type that in the chat feature to these young people. I believe in your potential. And so we don't look at it and say you're limited. We say disability does not mean inability. And within a year and a half, that initiative in the state of Delaware became a national best practice, where kids were creating clubs and groups in their schools. And they started to have these meetings and turning their lives around. And kids were saying for the first time that didn't think they can, land certain types of employment or land certain, maybe get to education, we're getting it because we were able to bring a group of young people together to synergize around their future. And any of you that are out there from an organization perspective, that's a powerful thing to do. It's great that we look at them from an individual perspective, but when you can bring them together and they can bring that synergy together in talking and communicating and get a universal belief in their potential, it's unlimited what young people can do. Unlimited. That's why I love this work, because I believe in them. And we've helped thousands of young people, thousands of them, be able to believe in themselves, in their potential. So write this statement down and realize disability does not mean inability. You see, I mean, when you think about it, historically, there's been a lot of people who had disabilities, but they didn't let them stop them. They didn't let them stop them. You know what I mean? Now, these people are obviously at another level from an entertainment perspective and science perspective, but they all had disabilities. You know what I mean? Stevie Wonder was blind and made some of the greatest music that from a history perspective, nobody, probably very few will ever make the kind of music this man made, but he was blind. He didn't let that stop him. Eva Longoria, great actress, phenomenal young lady, beautiful as well, but she just did some amazing things in the field of acting. Jamie Brewer, another actress with Down syndrome. And of course, we all know about Stephen Hawking. Unfortunately, we lost him last year. But the reality is his work is going to be remembered throughout history, and he could have easily said, I can't do this because of my current situation. That's why I say disability does not mean inability. Make sure you get that. That doesn't mean that you have to go on and be a Stephen Hawking. That doesn't mean you have to become a Stevie Wonder. You just be the best you that you can be. And that's what's important when we talk about careers and we talk about academics and we talk about all these other things. Be the best you that we can be. And so thank you all. I see all these wonderful adult leaders typing in there, I believe in their potential. And I see the young folks responding. Phenomenal. That's what I love to do with these keynotes. It shouldn't just be me talking. But we got to realize there's obstacles. And I want you to understand, young people, we're not going to let these obstacles stop us. Obstacles stop us. Type that in the chat feature, youth and adults. We're not going to let obstacles stop us. Type it in right now. Let's go. We're not going to let obstacles stop us. We're going to find a way around these obstacles because we want you to get some good employment. We want you to have a great education experience, but we're not going to be, we're not going to. Yes, I see you typing in there. There you go. That's it. We're not going to let them stop them. All right. But what are some of the obstacles? Not taking your education seriously is one. You know what I mean? And you're going to hear a little bit about my story in just a few moments. Not setting goals for your life. There's all kinds of research out here that shows when you set goals, your chances of succeeding are 1,000-fold more than if you don't. Okay. Hanging with the wrong people, boy, we won't talk about that one because that one is huge. You got to be careful who you hang around. And then we're going to address all three of these, but the thing is, that's right. We're not going to let obstacles stop us. way I'm talking to you is the way I talked to those 150 kids that were part of that council for the Delaware. We called the program SLAC, the Student Leadership Advisory Council. We met monthly to go over learning how to do their own IEPs and plan their future and student success plans and all these different things. I'm talking to you like I talked to them, and I'm telling you the success we had with those kids was legendary here in the state of Delaware. The U.S. Department of Education labeled it a national best practice. The Council for Exceptional Children honored the state of Delaware and many of the partners. I was the one behind the scenes doing all the work. I didn't get honored, but that's okay. I wanted my trophy too, but I didn't get it. But anyway, I feel good about the fact we were able to make it happen. I don't need another trophy. I got plenty of them. All right. So the power of a dream, and I want y'all to know that dreams are powerful. It really is. And OVR is very familiar with my son, Daryl. I actually had him up in the Norristown office. He created a OVR superhero, super Shiro, not hero, Shiro, for the office. And I think to this day, they still have it hanging up there. I'm not sure. But so they're very familiar with him. But my son had dyslexia. And one thing that happened when we found out the diagnosis, a lot of people were saying that there's certain things and certain limitations and certain, that he would be able to do this and he won't be able to do that. That's right. Thank you for the Shiro. Yeah. Yeah. All of that. And I said, whoa, time out. You don't know who his daddy is. No. You keep that note for yourself. I got another note. My note is we're not going to limit his potential. We're not going to limit his potential. So you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. It's okay. I'm not buying in because I believe in my son. I believe in his potential. So he was challenged with reading and comprehension, but we never allowed this to limit his abilities. Obviously, he got the help. Obviously, he got the accommodations that he needed, all of that, but we never limited his potential. He was into art from the age of 3, 2. And I know he was into art because when I would come home from one of my speaking engagements or my consulting projects, there would be artwork all over my walls. Nice little pieces of artwork everywhere. And I would say, wow, what did we draw today? And then I said to my wife, why don't we hire a painter to come in and paint our walls with that erasable paint? This dude is going to have artwork over our entire house. And some of that stuff is still there because all these years later, I just like to look at it because he was so little. And we knew he had an interest in art. So we surrounded him. And I want to say to all the adults out there, when a young person has a dream, surround them with the tools and the people to help them pursue it. That don't say that they can't. Find out if there's a way that they can. So that's what we did with our son. He looked up to successful artists like Walt Disney. Disney also had dyslexia. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. That's to give them the tools. There you go, Lori. That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. Yeah. That's it. Oh, I love that. I'm not going to limit my daughter's potential. We got a mom in here. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Spells. Way to go. Way to go, moms. That's what I'm talking about. All right. And so we looked up to successful like Walt Disney. He just recently graduated from the #2 art college in the United States of America. And listen to this, won $700,000 in merit scholarships. He didn't pay. His school was $262,000. He paid $0. Don't ever limit the potential of our children. That's a major message that I'm communicating all over this country. I just had an opportunity to be the keynote speaker for the Council for State Administrators of Vocational Rehabilitation. And I said this to all the state leaders all over the country, what I'm telling you right now. You know what I mean? We're talking about transition motivation. We don't limit potential. We raise the bar. You know what I mean? I like this quote. It says, nobody rises to low expectations. Set the bar high. We'd be surprised what these young folks can do when we set that bar high. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm excited that you all right there with me. In these pictures, Daryl just working with youth. I take him with me. To this day, he still does what's called the superhero projects, where we work with young people virtually and have them work on creating their own superheroes. And then I want y'all to do this as an assignment too with your young people. Have them create their own superhero, and they are the superhero. This is what Daryl does. They are the superhero. And then tell them what are your superpowers? It could be communication. It could be math. It could be art. It could be all these different superpowers that you have that you can use to impact the world around you. That's all we did with our children. That's why I started off with my daughter and my son, and I can talk about my other children as well, but it seems like I'm doing a daddy brag, and I don't want to do that. I'm just a proud papa. So we don't have to be limited. So the first key I want to talk to you about, and we only have a certain amount of time here, is education enhances your superpowers. You see, my mother, I was born and raised in poverty in the city of Syracuse, New York, a single mom public welfare system. We had zero. We didn't have much of anything. We had a lot of love around us. Don't get me wrong. And I think it's important to say that, because a lot of times in certain environments, people think there's not a lot of loving things. No, we had a lot of love. The people in our community, but we didn't have much financially. But my mom went back to school and ended up getting her education. And boy, that changed our lives forever. Forever. She became the first person in our family to graduate with a high school diploma. She landed a job with a company by the name of Allegheny Airlines, which became US Air Incorporated, which is now American. And we went from poverty to traveling all over the United States of America for free, because when you work for the airlines, your children don't have to pay. And I was the first kid in my neighborhood to go to Disney World. And I came back home, I had bragging rights. I had my Mickey hat on, and I wore that thing for like 2 years straight. And I'm saying this to say that education is powerful. My mother told us after this experience, she said, sons, I want you to know something. And that is, education is the key to your liberation. Knowledge is power. All right. Type that in the chat feature. Knowledge is power. Come on, type that in there. Knowledge is power. In your schools, your teachers, your principals, your school counselors, your transition coordinators, all the people, the VR people that's coming in and working with you, they are there for you to get the knowledge so you can have power to make a good choice for your future. That's what they're all there for. So you got to show some respect for your teachers. Show respect for your counselors. They're not there to hurt you. They're there to help you. And I'm telling you, when you embrace that, it changes everything. I always tell my children, don't you dare reject knowledge and insight from people who care about you. Listen to those folks, because they wanted us to look at all that. Knowledge is power. Thank you, Eric. I see you up there. There you go, Avery. There you go. That's it. Knowledge is power. That's right, Richard Dalton. There you go. There you go. Knowledge is power. It provides opportunities to use your gifts and abilities. That's why I wrote this book, The Purpose Living Teen, A Teen's Guide to Living Your Dreams. Pre-COVID, people would buy this in bulk and because they have meetings with their kids and give them out to their kids, but now there's COVID and it's like there's not happening that much. But I mean, I believe inside of every young person is to see the potential. I do. That doesn't mean that everybody's going to go on and become like Bill Gates and build $1 billion business. You can work right and you have a nice job in your local community. You know what I mean? Doing certain work and certain types of jobs. Everyone is not going to have all of that, but we can still make a difference. There's a seed of potential in each young person. All right. It opens doors for you in multiple career areas, and coupled with self-determination, it can shape your future. I'll tell you something, education is powerful. A lot of times I grew up and I hear people would kind of downplay it and they would act like it wasn't, thank you so much, Lord. I appreciate that. And it's people would not take it seriously in my neighborhood. And I said, man, my mom went back to school and got a high school diploma. My life changed. Don't tell me schooling is not important. It's super important. And if you have any friends that tell you otherwise, tell them, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So take your education seriously. If you need help, get the help. If you need the tutoring, get the tutoring. Of course, if you need the accommodations, get them. But take your education seriously. It's so important. Respect your teachers. Respect the coaches. Respect the transition. All the people that are there, your principal, they're there to give you a good future. That's important. All right. And so the second thing I want to talk about key is goals can help you break through personal obstacles to success. We talked a little earlier about obstacles. Man, there's nothing more powerful than obstacle buster than goals because obstacles can't stand goals. Obstacles like, please don't bring them over here. I don't like them. Because they're going to help you to go break through me. And I don't want anything to do that. So the obstacles are saying, please don't have goals. So we can keep going around the same circle all the time. But when you have when you have a goal, you bust through that thing. I remember when I was in high school. All right. When and the book is on Amazon. So if somebody's asking prices about the book, you can go see that, But when I was in high school, I ran track and field. And we there's one team we could never beat. It was called Christian Brothers Academy. They hadn't lost a track meet in our hometown in 25 years. Now that's incredible when you think about it, 25 years. But my team came together and said, we are not going to let that stop us, because you know what? They have a lot of championships. We don't have any. I said, it was my senior year in high school. I said, we're going to win one championship. That's it. We're not going to end this year. Well, I am not getting out of high school without at least one championship. So we said, we're going to beat CBA. And people all in the city said, you guys are crazy. You settle for second place. You're not beating CBA, Christian Brothers Academy. Okay. And I said, well, we are. So we had a really good track team that year. I threw the discus, and there were other people in different positions. And we were really good. So we won our first 6 events, and CBA won their first 6 events. And then we competed for the city championship. But here's the problem. It was on their track. Now, they haven't lost a track meet in the city in 25 years on their track. I don't think they hadn't lost to like 18. I think 1899 was the last time they lost. Nobody could beat them on their track. That was impossible. But we came together as a team. That's why our young people need to have the right team around them, and said, today we're going to make history. I really believe that the newspaper I'd already written up and was ready to put it into circulation. CBA wins another championship. And so we went on and competed against that team and competed. And it came down to the last event, the pole vault. Matter of fact, the guy is still one of my good friends to this day. His name is Joe Haran. And Joe was the one that was going to decide if we beat them or if we lose. And Joe was the worst pole vaulter in the city of Syracuse, New York. And CBA had the best in the city and one of the best in the state. But Joe looked at us and said, I'm not going to let you down. This is a goal that we had. And he said, we're going to make history today. And he started jumping heights I'd never seen him jump before. I said, what in the world? What in the world? And it boiled down to the last jump. The CBI ABA guy was just like, what is this? And he looked over us and said, gotcha. And he grabbed that pole vault, ran, planted it, went up, went over. And I saw the newspaper reporter scramble to get back to change the headline. We beat that team. Why? Because of the power of a goal. Young people, let me tell you something. Goals are powerful. Goals give you a vision for the future. All right. Here's something you got to realize as a young person as well. If you don't have a goal, other people will give you one. You don't want other friends and other people to give you goals. When you know where you're going, you can say to them, I'm sorry, I know where I'm going. That does not fit where I'm going. I won't do that. Sorry about that. No. My children have all grown up and made really good choices. Not that they're perfect, and neither is their dad. I can tell you stories about my imperfections. But the reality is, I told my children, and I'll tell these young folks like yourselves I speak with, if you have a goal and you use that goal as the filter for your life and actions, then you're going to make good choices, because you do not want other people to give you a goal. You see, then what I mean by that, it doesn't mean that the people that care about you helping you develop goals, but people that's going to give you goals to make choices that are not the best choices for you. I love this quote here, and that's impossible to hit a target that you don't have. If you don't have that's like playing basketball and there's no rims. You're shooting at the backboard, but where do you score? You need the rims to score. That's why it's called a goal. A lot of people don't know that. All right. So the reality is, it's impossible to hit a target. You need to have targets, academic targets, career targets, job at your age, just job targets. Any job you get is going to give you experience. If it's working at McDonald's, or if it's working at Wawa's, it's going to give you experience you'll keep building upon. I speak and train all over the world, but my first job was at Top Supermarket in Syracuse, New York, as a bagger, and I was the best bagger in that town. Boy, I got all kinds of tips, because I learned something early. If you smile as a young person and treat people with nice, they will take good care of you. So I would see a lady struggling or a guy struggling with a bag or something like that, and I say, can I help you with that? You're such a good young man. Absolutely. And I grab the bag and we'd go out to the car and I put that in the car. That's right. Character does count. Kindness matters. And they give me a tip, and I was like, oh, I don't want that. No, here, take it. I said, okay. Thank you. I made more in tips than I did salary. Why? Because I was respectful. That's right. Somebody says kindness matters. It does. Character counts. If you treat people disrespectfully, they don't want to do anything for you. Let me hurry up because we're running out of time. And in dreams, number 3, this one, show me your friends. Please just write this one down. Show me your friends and I will show you your future. Don't ever forget that. You find out who your friend. I can tell who a person is by the people that they hang with. You got to have the right friends. These are my daughter. I'm like, there goes my daughter again being interviewed down in DC. She was down with Facebook. This girl's amazing. And this is my son, Alexander, and one of his best friends. They were volunteering for the Tim Tebow Foundation. And on their way over there, Alexander was just accepted at the Citadel Virginia Military Institute and the University of Delaware. He wants to go to a military institute because he wants to get into politics, but he wants to serve first. You know what I mean? So he's working on that route. But let me tell you, show me your friends and I will show you your future. This is important. Make friends with people who care about your future. Listen, here's something I want you to realize. Good friendships take you up, bad friendships take you down. A friend wants you to make the good choices. A person that doesn't want you to make good choices is not a friend. They're a foe. People that care about you want you, young people, to make good choices. That's when you know that they're a friend. That's important. If they got me doing things that's going to be detrimental to my future, that's going to hurt my family, if I make this choice, it's going to hurt me, that's not a friend. Run from those people. But if they say, oh, I believe you can get that job. Oh, I believe you can do well in your education. Oh, I believe you can do, if they're complimenting you and things like that, good friends don't put you down. They may joke because friends do that, but they don't put you down. They lift you up. That's friendship. Sometimes I feel like we need to educate on what friendship really is, because friendship is about the betterment of the other person. That's what it's really all about. So you want friends, you see, and so here's the thing. Find 2 or 3 people who really care. I have 3 friends that I grew up with. I'm still best friends with after all these years, because we just keep encouraging and inspiring each other. I didn't have a whole lot of them. I know a lot of people, very respectful, great relationships, but I got about 3 friends that I grew up with. Now I got a lot of friends outside of that group, but those are my 3. That's my, one of them is a lady, another is a guy. They're like my besties. I'm just going to tell you, they got my back. They check on me every other day. They want the best for me. They encourage me. They inspire me. That's a friendship. So show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And both of them are doing well. Both of them doing fantastic because we keep lifting each other up. So that's important. So the next steps are, we do a lot of these virtual programs, like you said, and we're working with some young folks here in the state where I live in Delaware. We do a lot of this because we just want to inspire many young people as we can. We're still doing a lot of these virtual workshops and trainings all over the country. So if anybody want to talk to me about that, please reach out. But keys, I got to give you follow-up. Motivation without information is simply a good conversation. So I want to give you a few takeaways. Get serious about your education. Ask for help if you need it. Create a career goal plan. Say, I want to become maybe, I don't know, whatever, a teacher, or I want to work with kids who may have similar situations if I'm having certain disabilities and things like that, just maybe to help there. It could be different types of things. Maybe I want to get a job in a manufacturing facility and work within that manufacturing facility, or maybe I want to do something, go to college or whatever. I'm going to give it my best. But the reality, there you go, Fear. That's right. Okay. Believe in it, man. There you go. Thank you for writing that down. That's it. And then find 2 or 3 friends and create a dream team. You don't need a lot of people. The goal is not to have 1,000 people. You don't want that, because then you have to please everybody. But you want a few people that believe in you and you believe in them. That's important. And then be open to advice. Okay. Keep in mind, DCIU right now, your school, your teachers, your educators. I do this enough all over the country. I know they care about your future. That's why they're doing these type of things. And as young people, you got to respect that. Respect people who are trying to help you. And I say that because I'm saying that gently and with a smile, because a lot of times I talk to young folks, they would respect somebody when they're friends who's doing things that ain't so necessarily the best thing, more than they do an educator that wants a better future for them. You want to respect the people that want a good future for you. I had to learn that at an early age, and my 6th grade teacher, Miss Joy Palmer, was able to turn my life around forever because I learned to respect her. And to this day, we're still she's like a mom to me. She's still like a mom to me. And so let me close this out by saying this. Don't go where the path may lead. Instead, go where there is no path and leave a trail. And the last thing in the chat feature, type in there, be a trailblazer, and put at the end of it, baby. Be a trailblazer, baby. Come on, type that in there. Come on, in the chat feature, be a trailblazer, baby. I'm a little older. I can say this. Some of y'all don't know who this person is. You got to be like Captain Kirk. Oh, I just gave my age away. You got to boldly go where no man or no woman has gone before. And with that, I say thank you. That's my website. I do work programs with schools, workforce groups, OVRs, VRs all over the country. If I can be of help, reach out to me. If you have any questions, it doesn't have to be me speaking or training or consulting. Say, Coach, I just love to have some conversation with you. Reach out. This is what I do 24/7. I'm about inspiring and making a difference in the lives of people. And I thank you, DCIU, for this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Go out there and get them, young people. Your future is bright. Last thing, listen to everybody that talks today. Take notes and get some new information because what? Knowledge is power. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Coach D. What a great way to start our conference. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hey, there was one question in the chat that I just wanted to return to. Someone was asking about your book and how to get your book.
Yeah. Yeah, just Amazon.com. If you go, my books are on Amazon, all of them.
All right.
And if you go there, my Purpose Living Teen, I have 5 books. Purpose Living Teen, Teen's Guide to Living Your Dream. Reinvention, The Pathway to Job Search Success. How to Find Your Passion and Make a Living at It. The Parent is Coach, Developing a Family Dream Team. And Believe in the Hype, 7 Keys to Motivating Students of Color. So those are my books. And I'm writing one book now. We're doing a lot of work in the area of equity and inclusion with organizations. And I'm writing the book, Equity is Not a Head Issue, it's a Heart Issue. And so we're taking a different approach to equity, and it's working. We're working with organizations all over the country, and we're seeing their cultures change because they're taking a totally different perspective. And so I'm really excited about that work because I think it's going to have a great impact on our nation. So anyway, that's kind of like our DEI focus. But thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. And go Eagles.
Thanks so much again, Coach D. And we hope that, our paths will cross again.
Yes, no, they most definitely will. They most definitely will. No doubt about it. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so